Okay, students, good morning to all of you. Yes, students, today we are going to discuss about the properties of conductors. Kana. Yes, students, it is important topic. Just listen carefully. I think so. All properties we have discussed already. Properties of conductors. Yes. First property, Nana. See, I am discussing this one in electrostatic situation. Static situation means when the charges are in rest position. And the two for conductors. First point is electric field inside the conductor. Conductor is always zero in static situation. In which situation? Static situation. Yes, students, you know about this one. Yes, if you take a conductor, and always where material is present, wherever the material is present, inside that one means you take this is one conductor. Inside this one, electric field will be zero. In which condition? In static condition, means static situation. When the charges are in rest position, electric field must be zero. See, students, if electric field is there, then what will happen, sir? See, if electric field is there, then due to that electric field on the charges which are present inside that material, a force will act. Due to that force, the charges will get drifted, means they will move. Whenever charges move, it will produce electricity, means it will give shock. It should not happen, no? Yes. Yes, on this also, some charges are there, but it is not producing electricity. That means charges are in rest position. So electric field should be zero. Electric field should be zero means there should be no charges inside that conductor. All the charges will reside only on the surface of the conductor only. Okay? So yes, this is the first point. Second point is always electric field is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. Yes, it is also important. So students, electric field, if you consider one conductor, one conducting material. Now for this conducting material, you take any one surface area. As for this surface area, electric field must be perpendicular, as 90 degrees angle it should be. It should not be tangential, or it should not make some inclination with the surface of a conductor. If it will happen, what happened? See, if electric field is not perpendicular, means if it is making some angle with the surface of a conductor, then a tangential component. Yes, I have discussed one more time, it is important. Okay. Yes. Now a tangential component will produce a force on the charge which is present on the surface. Due to that, charges will move. This will produce current, electricity. It should not happen in static situation. So that's why always electric field should be perpendicular to the surface. Okay. And third property is no excess of charge. No excess of charge should present inside the conductor. Means if you take one conductor, imagine if you take one conductor, conducting material, whatever the charge you will give for that conductor, the total charge will present only on the surface. Inside, charge cannot be present. If inside charge is present, what will happen? Due to this charge in the interior of this conductor, electric field will produce. That electric field should not be there in the interior of the conductor. So due to that, whatever the charge you will give to the conductor, that will present only on the surface of a conductor. Here? Yes. Next. Fourth point is, see students, whole surface, total surface, including inside is at a constant potential. Constant potential. Yes. See, this point not discussed no in that previous class. Yes. Means whatever the conductor you take, inside point or everywhere on the surface, everywhere you take, the potential should be same. Means there should be no potential difference. There should be no potential difference. Why? Why? See, just now I told you that electric field inside the conductor is always zero. Or this point you see, always electric field is perpendicular to the surface of a conductor. Whenever this will happen, what will happen? If you want to move a charge from one point to another point, no work has to be done because no force is acting, no electric field is present, no work has to be done. Now you define potential difference between any 2 points is nothing but work done per unit charge. If work done is zero, because electric field is perpendicular to the surface, if anything a force is perpendicular to a displacement of a object, then for work done on that object will be zero. As you know, work is equal to F dot S. Dot product is there, cos theta. Theta is 90 degrees means no work done. Since work done is zero, in moving a charge from one point to another point on the surface of the conductor or inside it, then potential difference should be zero, means potential at each and every point should be same. Okay, yes, this is the fourth point I am repeating. Total surface including inside point is at a constant potential, means at each and every point for this conductor potential is same. Why? This is the reason. Because electric field is perpendicular to the surface. If electric field is perpendicular to the surface, no work is to be done to move a charge from one point to another point. If no work is done, then potential difference should be same. Potential difference should be zero. That is, potential at each and every point should be same. Clear? Yes. And one more point is, yes, electric field due to a conductor is sigma by epsilon naught, and which is perpendicular to the surface of a conductor. NCAP indicates always electric field is perpendicular to the surface of a conductor. Nana. Clear? Yes. Students, suppose you imagine here there is one conductor is there. There is one conductor is present. Clear? Now, let us suppose on this conductor a surface charge density sigma is there. Means charge which is spread over this area of the surface of the conductor. Okay? Yes. Sigma means what, Nana? Sigma means Q by A. Charge per unit area, as you know. Okay. Now, due to this conductor, we want electric field. What will be the electric field? Yes. So for this, let us find this value of electric field of this conductor by using Gauss law, because Gauss law gives you a simple result. Yes. Now what I am doing is I am taking one cylindrical surface. Yes. Let us suppose this is a cylindrical surface whose surface area is ds. I am considering one cylindrical surface whose surface area is ds. Students, as you know, due to this conductor, outside some electric field is there and inside electric field is zero, as you know, because inside the conductor electric field is zero always, and outside some electric field is there. Now due to this, some flux is present. How much flux is there? You know, flux is nothing but electric field into area. Yes, the flux present is E into ds. This much flux is present. Clear? And according to Gauss law, flux is nothing but 1 by epsilon naught times of charge enclosed within this Gaussian surface. Okay? Yes. See, here Q can be written as sigma into A. Then dQ within this Gaussian surface, how much charge is there? That can be written as sigma into ds, small area element ds. Means we can write Q into ds. Q means sigma into ds. It can be written as sigma into ds by epsilon naught. Now these two are flux. Then you can write E into ds is equal to sigma ds by epsilon naught. Now ds cancel. You will get electric field as sigma by epsilon naught. Yes, this is I got according to Gauss law. And as you know, electric field is always perpendicular to the surface. Then you can keep a unit vector which is perpendicular to surface. That is n cap I am calling here. Yes. So for a conductor, always at an outside point, some electric field is there due to the conductor. That electric field is sigma by epsilon naught into n cap. N cap gives you the direction. Okay. Sigma by epsilon naught is the magnitude of electric field. Here sigma is nothing but surface charge density of this conductor. For this conductor, how much surface charge density is there? Sigma. Then due to this, what will be the electric field produced? That is sigma by epsilon naught. Let us suppose if this conductor is having negative surface charge density, then electric field will be minus sigma by epsilon naught n cap. Minus indicates electric field is towards the conductor perpendicularly. That's it. If it is positive surface charge density, this is also positive. Away from the surface of the conductor perpendicular. Clear? Okay. This is the fifth point, Nana. Now let us take one more last point, that is called as electrostatic shielding. Yes, electrostatic shielding. Yes, this point there 2 times already we have discussed. Shielding. Yes, what is electrostatic shielding? See students, let us suppose if you are having one conductor. Imagine if you are having one conductor, and whatever the charge you will give for this conductor, where it will present? Only on the surface. It cannot be present inside the material of the conductor. Okay, na? Yes. Now let us suppose if this conductor is having a small cavity. This conductor is having a small cavity, means small hole is present for this conductor, let us suppose. Yes, like this a small hole is present. Now whatever the charge you will give, you will supply to this conductor, the total charge will reside only on this surface. It cannot be present. See students, I am not writing the charge in the interior of the cavity. On the outer surface only. See sir, if I'll say charge, no excess charge will present inside the conductor. I told you that charge will present only on the surface of a conductor. See if it is having a cavity, yes it is a cavity. This is also surface, no? You can imagine charge here also. But it should not happen. If a cavity is present for any conductor, charge cannot be present at this inner surface of the cavity. Always it will present on the outer surface of a conductor only. Suppose if you imagine if a charge is there in the interior also, let us suppose, then what happens, sir? See, if you imagine a small Gaussian surface about this one. Now this Gaussian surface, across this Gaussian surface, some charge is there. Some charge is there inside this Gaussian surface. Due to this charge, definitely some electric field will be there here. Yes or no? Yes, according to Gauss law, surface integral of E bar and ds bar is equal to q by epsilon naught. Clear students? Yes, if charge is present in the interior of the cavity, if this is not zero, then electric field should not be zero. This should never happen, because in where material is present for a conductor, their electric field should be zero. If here electric field should be zero, means in the interior charge should be zero. Means if a cavity is present in a conductor, then inside that cavity also no charge will be present. Means we can say here electric field will be zero. Here also electric field is zero. However, means if you want to protect any sensitive instrument from the external electric field, what you can do? Simply keep that instrument inside the cavity of that conductor, then it will be protected. This property is called as electrostatic shielding. Electrostatic shielding is nothing but electric field inside the cavity of a conductor is always zero. Whatever may be the charge which is present on the surface of a conductor, or whatever electric field you expose to this conductor, whatever you do from outside, electric field inside the cavity is always zero. And so that any sensitive instrument, electrical sensitive instrument, can be protected from the external electric field or from the external charges. That property of a conductor is called as electrostatic shield. Okay, yes, these are the 6 points you must remember, students. On these topics you may get some assertion reason type questions also in objective, must remember. Okay, and if CBSE students are there, means yes, these are very useful for you. Yes sir, 4 more questions they will ask you. One paragraph they'll give, and from that paragraph they will ask you questions on this topic. Remember. Okay na? Clear? Yes. Now, okay, these are things clearly understood. Okay, now students, let us see one more property. Yes, students, let us suppose we are having one conductor. Let us suppose I will take one rectangular shaped conductor. I will take. Okay. Yes. Let us suppose this is a rectangular shaped conductor. Yes. What is conductor? Conductor is nothing but it is any material which can have excess of charge carriers. Clear? Means electrons. Okay. Now the electrons are freely available for us. So these free electrons, they can move here and there randomly in all directions. But average velocity of that electron will be 0. So that they will not constitute any current. They are called as conductor. But whenever some external electric field, if you apply to that conductor, then the electron, the free electrons which are present in the interior of that metal surface or conductor, they will be acted upon by some force. Due to that force, they will move in one particular direction. Clear, students? Okay. Now let us suppose we have placed this conductor. This is what? This is a conductor. Let us suppose we have placed this conductor inside the some external electric field. Inside some external electric field. Let us suppose these are the two plates. One is positive plate, another one is negative plate. So that one electric field is applied in this direction. Always electric field will point from positive plate to negative plate. Positive charges to negative charges. Let us suppose applied electric field I am using is E naught. E naught indicates applied electric field. Imagine. Okay. Now this electric field E naught I have applied to this conductor. Then what happened? You consider the atoms which are present inside the conductor. Yes, in these atoms, positive charge carriers will get a force in this direction, and negative charge carriers will get a force in this direction. As you know, yes, whenever a charge carrier is placed in an electric field on the charge carriers, a force will act. That force is nothing but Q into E. If it is positive charge, force is in the direction of field. If it is negative charge, force is in opposite direction to the field. Okay. So due to this, what happened? A net dipole moment means positive and negative charges will get small separation. They get displaced from their location. Means here negative charge, here positive charge. Like this, they will displace from their original location, and one dipole moment will generate. A dipole moment will generate. Clear, students? Yes. So like this, all remaining all, they will become like this. I hope you are understanding what I am saying. Okay. Now, in the interior of a conductor, these positive and negative charges, they will cancel out. They will cancel out. Net charge will become 0. But on the outer surfaces, nearer to positive plate, a negative charge will induce, and near to negative plate, a positive charge will induce. These charges we call it as induced charges. What we call induced charges. This I'll call minus Qi. This I'll call plus Qi. Are you understanding? Yes. Qi indicates how many charges are there. That many charges. Here are so many charges are there. That many charges. Now due to these two induced charges, what I am calling this? These I am calling as induced charges. Induced charges. Clear na? Due to these induced charges, one electric field will generate in this direction. Clear na? That electric field I call it as induced electric field. And always in a conductor, the induced electric field produced is always is equal to external electric field that we have applied. So the net electric field will become, net electric field is equal to, see, electric field is a vector quantity. We should add them according to direction. This direction is positive if we take, this direction you should take negative. So it will become E naught minus EI. As EI value is equal to E naught magnitude wise, then it will become 0. Means net electric field inside the conductor becomes 0. Are you getting, students? How it will become 0? This is how it will become 0. Means whenever a conductor is placed inside one external electric field and on the surface of the conductor, some opposite charges will induce. Which type of charges? Nearer to positive charges, negative charges will induce. Nearer plate of negative charges, positive charges will induce. Due to this induced charges, a net electric field, sorry, induced electric field will produce in opposite direction to the applied electric field. And in a conductor, always this induced electric field is opposite to external electric field. So that what happened? Net electric field will become 0. Properties of conductors abhi. Same, I am continuing the topic. Okay? Net electric field inside the conductor is always 0. Clear? Yes. Now, you can call this Qi as let us suppose this is having like some surface area, like this surface area it is having. Okay, it is having some surface area. Then you can write minus sigma I here plus sigma I. Sigma indicates surface charge density. This I told you the rectangular slab, no, means on this surface how much charge is there? Having area A is called as sigma I. Induced surface charge density. Here also induced surface charge density minus sigma I plus sigma I also you can say. As you know, electric field can be written as sigma by epsilon naught. No. Clear. Here this EI can be written as sigma I by epsilon naught. Electric field is sigma by epsilon naught. Induced electric field will become sigma I by epsilon naught. In conductor, sigma I and sigma both are same. So that you will get net electric field is 0. I think so you are getting the point. Okay. Now this is about conductors. Now let us take insulators. What happens? Insulators are nothing but the materials which are not having free electrons. Those are called as insulators. Okay. Yes. Now if we keep insulators inside this one, inside the electric field, because there is no free electrons, like this induced electric field cannot produce. Electric field, how much is there? Externally, same electric field will be there in the interior of the material. But there are another type of materials are there. They are called as dielectrics. Yes, this topic is important. Dielectrics. Dielectrics are nothing but these are insulators, Nana. Insulators, but they will have small quantity of free electrons. They will have small quantity of free electrons. It is not equal to the electrons, free electrons which are present in conductors. These are almost equal to insulators only, but they will have few. You can say like this, few charge carriers they will have. Charge carriers they will have. Charge carriers in the sense electrons, free electrons you can say. Okay. Now, students, if you see the dielectrics of two types, Nana. Dielectrics are of two types. These are non-polar dielectrics. Students, listen carefully. Non-polar dielectrics and polar dielectrics. Polar dielectrics. Yes. See, students, in non-polar dielectrics, what will happen? See, you consider any atom. You consider one atom. Inside the atom, a nucleus will be there. Inside the nucleus, protons and neutrons will be there. And around the nucleus, what will be there, Nana? Yes, electrons are rotating. Clear? Okay. Now, in some dielectrics, what happens, students? The center of these positive charges and center of this Means so many charges will be there. No, in first k orbit, 2 electrons are there. Here 8 electrons are there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, na? So center of gravity of means center of mass of these all negative charges and center of mass of positive charges will coincide. Where center of mass of these positive charges is present, there only center of mass of these negative charges also present. Those type of dielectrics are called as non-polar dielectrics. So due to this, what will happen? Positive charges are there, negative charges are there, but these two are not separated by some distance. Means no net dielectric moment. If there is no dielectric moment, what to say? Dipole moment. If there is no dipole moment, they cannot produce electric field. Means non-polar dielectrics, they cannot produce electric field. Are you understanding what I am saying? Non-polar dielectrics means these are the dielectrics in which the center of positive charges coincide with the center of all the negative charges cloud. Then no net dipole momentum is present for non-polar dielectrics. Okay, Nana? Yes. Examples for this is hydrogen nuclide and oxygen, like this, which are having symmetrical charge distribution. Okay, this type of atoms are called as non-polar dielectrics. Whereas in polar dielectrics, imagine this is one atom. These are center of positive charges and these are center of negative charges. Means positive and negative charges centers are separated by some distance. Means some net dipole momentum is present in polar dielectrics. So simply you can say polar dielectrics are the dielectrics of atoms in which positive charges, center of positive charges and center of negative charges are not coincide, so that they will have some net dipole moment. Okay, here example for this is HCl or H2O, like this unsymmetric. Okay, na? Are you getting, students? So polar dielectrics will have some net dipole moment, but if you take one substance, means one substance of made up of polar dielectrics, what happened? This is one atom, this is another atom, so many atoms are there. Clear, students? This is what I am saying. Polar dielectric material is considered. In that, this material is made up of so many number of molecules or atoms. Now, each molecule or atom will have some dipole moment. Yes, this dipole momentum will be like this. This dipole momentum will be somewhat like this. This dipole momentum somewhat like this. Means they will be oriented in different directions. So net dipole moment is again zero in polar dielectrics. But if you place this dielectric inside one external electric field, then all the dipole moments will point in one direction. So all the dipole moments will add up, so that they will produce one net dipole moment. I think so you are getting the point. Whereas in non-polar dielectrics, there is no initial dipole moment. They cannot produce any electric field. But see, students, these non-polar dielectrics, when they are placed in external electric field like this, one external electric field, if we keep these non-polar dielectrics, what happened? Imagine this is a material of a non-polar dielectrics. What happened? Yes, whenever, see here, what happened? Yes, center of positive and center of negative cloud is coincide in non-polar. If you keep one external electric field, what happened? These negative charges will get a force in this direction and positive charges will get a force in this direction, so that these negative and positive charges will get stretched apart, so that a net dipole moment will create in the interior of this non-polar dielectric. So here negative charges will induce Here positive charges will induce. And however, in the interior, all negative and positive charges will cancel out their effect. Here it will become zero. But outside, some induced charges will produce. The charges again I will call minus Qi, here plus Qi, or in terms of surface charge density, minus sigma I plus sigma I. Now, this is one external electric field. Due to these charges, some electric field will produce. This electric field now cannot be equal to net electric field. Always the electric field will produce due to the induced charges in non-polar dielectrics or polar dielectrics always less than external electric field. And this electric field we call it as electric field produced due to induced charges, or we can say electric field produced due to polarization. Polarization, new word for you. Polarization.